Hi guys. As you can tell, I'm in a different location right now. This is my band room at school. As you can tell by the tuba over there. I have been stuck at school all day because I'm doing a musical, and we went through the first reading of it today, and it lasted until nearly 5 o'clock. And I don't get to go home yet because I play in the band, and I have to be here for a basketball game. So I'm using the now empty and very quiet band room as my place to film, I guess. So recently I took a trip to Pennsylvania. For Christmas I went and saw my sister, Gabrielle, and she lives in a little tiny town called Austin, Pennsylvania, just north of Buffalo, New York.
I really meant to say south.
And it's such a tiny town. Her graduating class is about 14 people, and everybody's so nice there. It's just a nice small town. I took a plane to Pennsylvania, but I didn't really have enough money to take the plane back, so I rode the Greyhound bus. And mind you, I live in Idaho, which is on the west coast, and Pennsylvania is definitely in the east coast. It took me 3 days to get there. And I was wondering, it can't take that long to drive across the country, even with stops and stuff. Turns out I had an 11.5-hour layover in Cleveland. And then I drove for 3 hours to Chicago, where I had another 10-hour layover, which explains for the whole 3-day thing. I met the most interesting people. In Cleveland, there's this guy who just got out of jail, and he knew how to play the guitar so well. It was amazing. Oh, there was this other guy. I don't even remember his name. His name does not deserve to be remembered. He lives in Seattle, and he was trying to tell me how much nicer Seattle is than Idaho, and how many more trees there are in Seattle, and how there's mountains in Seattle and not in Idaho, and how there's water, the ocean. And first of all, we have trees. We, even though Washington is the evergreen state, we have more trees than Washington and Idaho. So yeah, pretty green here. Mountains, yep, live within, 10 minutes of at least 5. So, wrong on that count too. And water. We don't have the ocean, but we do have Lake Pend Oreille. And when they were building submarines, they tested them in Lake Pend Oreille because it was so deep. I'm pretty sure Seattle does not stand up against Idaho on these counts. And then he asked me if I lived on a potato farm, and I was angry because I have never once seen a potato farm in my whole life. I've never set foot on one. So, but main part of this story, when I got into Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, I asked the bus driver, hey, can you get my bag, maybe? Because I have to get off here. And he said, no. And I was like, well, can I get it then? And he opens up the underneath compartment and says, well, do you see it? I said, no. Says, well, I have to go. I'm running late, and I don't have time to look for your luggage. And so he drives off, and my whole wardrobe pretty much was in that duffel bag. I was really upset. And they still haven't found it, but it's just stuff. Stuff can always be replaced. So I'm trying not to be too down about it. But, your sympathy would be very much appreciated. So comment and subscribe and like and rate, or whatever it is you can do to make me feel like I'm popular.